Hello, my lovely, lovely audience. Welcome to another video. So, welcome to What If Deku had the quirk, Ocean Titan. Now, I'm just gonna do a bit of exposition, then I'm gonna get into the quirk, okay? Okay. Now then, Izuku would be born with a set of light blue crab claws on the back of his body. Yeah, big old claws. Along with that, his pupils are blue. Other than that, his eye is exactly how it is in canon. His pupils are just blue. Now, when Izuku was about 5, his family and him went to Hawaii. Yeah, so, when he went to Hawaii, he met this woman named, you know what, fuck it, Tafiti. I can't think of a better name right now, so I'm just gonna go with what the canon was named after. Now, who is Tafiti? Watch Moana and you shall find out. For those of you who have watched Moana, basically all the same. Now, for those who haven't watched Moana, let me explain. Her quirk allows her to manipulate land. Yeah, she can manipulate land, earth, just any mineral. So earth manipulation, plant manipulation, and creation. The ability to repair any objects, and so on. Now, this is very similar to a game called Rias. Wait, no, let me explain something else. Now, in the movie, Tafiti has this gem in her chest, which is her heart. Now, when that heart gets removed, she turns into Teka. Now, Teka is the total opposite of Tafiti. In other words, a giant angry volcano. Yes, so she essentially turns into a Kainu from One Piece. But yeah, when it comes to Teka, lava, fire manipulation, earth manipulation, all that jazz. Now, this individual is very similar to a character in a game called Rias. Rias. R-E-U-S-E. Rias. Now, in this game, there are these giants, and these giants essentially manipulate the world. You play as the giants. The goal of the game is to make as prosperous of a world as possible. For humans. Now, in this game, there's the forest giant, which is similar to Tafiti, in charge of, forests and all that jazz. The sludge giant, which in Rias 2, which is in development, is a frog, but in the original game, it's a giant mass of sludge. Comes with the abilities of the swamp, exotic animals, so on. The earth giant makes mountains and all that jazz. And then the ocean giant, my favorite and also the most, weird, because the ocean giant doesn't make just fish. It makes domesticated animals. Meaning that the ocean giant is just in charge of life in general. Which makes sense. All life, if you go by, from a scientific point, all life did come from the oceans, so it makes sense. Now, Izuku's quirk is based off this. Except to a much greater extreme, much more finite control than in the game. More on that later. Now, on top of that, it comes with water manipulation and liquid regeneration. Meaning, when he comes into contact with water, he will regenerate whatever part of him is destroyed. Not missing, destroyed. That is important. Well, yes, also missing, but, it takes more energy to regenerate something if it's missing than if it was destroyed. Makes sense? Makes sense. Now, Izuku would meet this girl, Tafiti, and they get close. Very quickly. To the point where they even swap phone numbers, when they're 5. And they won't. And when, Izuku comes home to Japan, they won't stop talking on the phone. And like, every vacation he ever wants is to go to Hawaii to see Tafiti again. And Tafiti, any vacation her parents take her on, she wants to go to Japan to see Izuku. So, right around the time Izuku's 8, Tafiti's parents would actually move to Japan for their job. To help deal with their job. Now, would be a big change for Tafiti since Japan's actually very cold, but ever since the two of them were pretty much inseparable. Always together. Hell, like, Izuku and Tafiti were almost constantly asking if they can have a sleepover at the other one's house. Of course, they weren't allowed to a lot of the time, but still, they were practically never apart. And before you ask, Izuku's quirk is a powerful one. We all know this. So powerful, in fact, that he can't tell anyone about it. He just has to say he has the attributes of a crab. Why can't he tell anyone about it? Well, simply put it, there's one more feature I haven't told you about, which is why it costs more energy to regenerate a missing part than a destroyed part. So, right around the time Izuku is 9, no, right around the time he's 14, yeah, the start of the anime. Right around then. Like, after the sludge villain, after blah blah blah, the government would catch wind of Izuku's quirk in all its details. The quirk doctor who took a look at Izuku's quirk, who was sworn to secrecy, broke that promise, like accidentally when he was drunk, and one government agent overheard, and then said doctor got tortured. Every detail of the quirk. Now, because of this, Izuku would be tracked down and split apart. Now, on to the why missing parts cost more than destroyed parts. You see, Izuku, if he is broken apart, he can reattach the part, obviously. But whoever bears the part of him that is destroyed, whoever holds it, whoever is touching it, doesn't matter who, their resistance to water will improve, their water-based abilities will improve. If you have a water-based quirk, it will improve significantly. Even if it's an aquatic creature, you will grow so much stronger. You know what? No. Yeah, no. Hasashi is the quirk doctor, okay? Okay. But yeah, any attribute you have based around water will be improved significantly. Depending on the part, it can range from a major boost to an absurd boost. Now, here's how Izuku actually got found out. Yeah. So, one day, Izuku was just playing in the coral reefs with, with Tafiti. And while this octopus came up, Izuku would start, playing with its tentacles, and he would hear the octopus's, voice, essentially. It would say, I just reproduced. I'm such an idiot. I want to eat, but I can't. I'm gonna die soon. Why were we made like this? Izuku, feeling bad for the octopus, would take some of his energy, at least how he uses his quirk, which is energy. Yeah, essentially a type of ocean energy, which is why anyone who touches, a piece of Izuku gets a boost of water, of the ocean. And, he would alter the octopus a bit, essentially giving it, the ability to still reproduce, just any time, any way it wants, and it won't die. Izuku infuses a bit of his energy into it. And, him and the octopus become friends, and Izuku names the octopus David. Now, time skip about a week. he would end up finding this antique skull, which is an actual human skull, believed to be that of a pirate. Now, Izuku had, bought it because, come on, he loves pirates. He absolutely adores them just as much as All Might. Obvious reasons why, ocean quirk. And, well, he can hear the pirate's voice. Being dead sucks. Sucks so much. I wish I was alive, or at least had a body. A body to control, that could move. So Izuku, feeling bad for the, pirate, would imbue it with some of his energy, giving the pirate a body. Now, this pirate's name, I don't know. Yeah, let's just call him Sparrow. Yeah, because, if I'm being honest, he'll act a lot like Jack Sparrow. So, yes, his name is now Sparrow. But, yes, the government caught wind of Izuku's actions, had someone with a mind-reading quirk, dig up all the information about Izuku's quirk from Izuku himself, and Izuku would be split apart. His fingers, his hands, his feet, his legs, his head, his everything. Broken apart and split apart to be used for the heroes of Japan. Hell, even his claws. Tafiti only managed to get his eye. Anyway, time skip. About when Bakugo gets into UA. Tafiti also gets into UA. More on that later. I'm definitely going to do a part 2. I love Pirates of the Caribbean too much not to. Yes, this also has basing off of Pirates of the Caribbean. When I listened to David Jones's theme song, bitch, this what if was going off the rails. Anyway, so yeah. Give me a moment. Oh, yeah, okay. She only got his eye. Now, the government was very, how one would say, careless with his body and ended up destroying the frontal part of his skull. The frontal part. So, Tafiti is on, her knees in front of the ocean as she would start singing. She would take the eye, while still singing, and slowly lower it into the water. As the winds of the sea would pick up, blowing through her hair, Katsuki can't help but come over and hide behind a tree, looking at her while she's singing. Just because it's so pretty. So Katsuki's behind a tree listening. As a light blue glow would come from the base of the ocean. Give me a moment. The winds would pick up even more as the water would begin bubbling, and the eye would grow into a frontal bone face, like the front part of a skull. As the water would bubble and bubble, and from it would burst Davy Jones, the pirate. Specifically this. Yeah, the octopus from earlier. Sweet fuck, this song is just so good. Just listen to it with me for a moment. The octopus from earlier would emerge from the water, looking like this. Looking like Davy Jones. And you know, after listening to that song, I came up with a name for Tafiti. A new name to call her by. Freya. Yeah, I'm calling her Freya from now on. So, Freya would look at, look at Davy Jones. Davy Jones would look at her. Davy Jones would bend over and get on one knee and say, "Mistress, I understand your grief, but..." She would cut him off and say, "You do not. You simply do not. How's the hunt going? I used a little piece of Izuku's energy Izu's energy, and gave you and the others compasses to find his pieces. So how is that going?" "Oh, the search has been unfruitful." "And what do you mean by that?" "Simply put it, the heroes who had received pieces of Master were a bit too much for us." Izuku has only so much strength in this state, and he can't just be passing out. He can't just continuously enhance your troops every time you come into some little shortcoming. So I'm beginning to think I should start investing in some of the others." "What do you mean?" "Well, currently you are the top dog, but if I were to start investing in, let's say, Sparrow and his crew of the undead, at least at that point they can walk on land." "I understand that you are, rather frustrated. Please just understand that, okay, this is the last time I am going to ask for this." "Fine." Freya would reach into a backpack, take out a hand with 2 fingers on it, a dried, severed hand, and throw it to Davy Jones. "If you come back empty-handed, there will be consequences." "Understood, ma'am." Davy Jones would walk to the hand, pick it up, strap it to his belt, as he would walk back into the ocean. Bakugo, a set of vines would sprout out of the ground, wrapping around Bakugo's legs and arms, as Freya would walk to him, cold and angry. She's holding the frontal skull piece of Izuku, in her arms, coddling it like a baby, as she's walking towards him. As she looks at him and she would say, "You have some nerve coming here. You want to know why this beach is clean? Because me and Izuku wanted to do something good. And now look at him." She would show, yes, they are at Dagobah Beach. She would show Bakugo, Izuku's face. Skull face. The face of his skull. "He was always so nice to you, but what did you call him? Oh yeah, useless crab." Worthless crab, just because his quirk, well, to your knowledge, was a set of crab claws. Now, tell me why I shouldn't crush your larynx right here and right now. Look, I get you're angry, but I actually wasn't expecting you to listen to me. I wasn't expecting to get this far, if I'm being honest. You are a dumbass. I hope you know that. The vines around Bakugo's legs would loosen, as Freya would just sigh and say, killing you wouldn't be worth the effort. You're Izu's kill. If you want to write that, I would recommend you work with us to get back Izuku's pieces. Maybe then he'll forgive you, and you won't get skewered alive by the crab people that we made. Crab people? Yeah, one of the other crews I mentioned. Swarm of very angry, very barbaric Norse crabs. Norse crabs! Yeah, Norse crabs. Man, Izuku loved pirates. Makes sense that his creations, even in this state, would reflect that. See you in hell, bitch! She would just walk away, flipping him off. Bakugo's like, okay, when can we meet up to fix that? Go shank a random hero and see if they... Go shank a random hero with a water quirk and see if they have, like, one of his fingers or something on them. Wait, you said that you gave the others compasses. Can I at least get a compass? Fucking retard. She would pull out a compass and sigh and say, I was actually intending on using this, but she would throw it away, like throw it behind her at the beach. You use it. Bakugo would run up to it, pick it up, thank you! I am so fucked if Izuku comes back vengeful. Well, best start to go find those fingers. He would just start following the compass in a random direction. It's 12 at night. Neither one of them should be out. Bakugo's out to spite his mother. Freya's out to obviously do that. Summon Davy. Now then. So, time skip about a week. Gang Orca, who has... Gang Orca, who has a bunch of fingers on his belt for some reason, no one knows why, just hanging off of his belt. He's, helping a bunch of people on the sea who said that they were attacked by pirates. Weird, I know. They said they were attacked by a bunch of fishermen pirates. Gang Orc is confused, but, to be fair, he's heard and seen weirder, so it's not that bad. He's a literal orca-human hybrid. He does not really have room to talk. As well. The sound of drums can be heard, trombones going off. Give me a moment. The sound of trombones can be heard. As, what looks like to be the bottom of a ship. You know the little line they have at the bottom? Yeah, an ocean, pirate-style ship would just peek out from under the water. Then it would go back down. Gang Orca would look at this confused, as he would tell, a bunch of, police officers and so on, military heroes that he brought with them, to get out their guns/water quirks. Blobs of water would form, rocks similar to cannonballs would begin being lifted up. Police and military alike would, pull up their guns, readied. As the mast of a ship would poke out from under the water. What's a mast? It's like what the sail goes on. And the crow's nest, that's a mast. The mast of a ship would poke out from the water, a pufferfish-human hybrid, like on top of the crow's nest. As a ship would slowly, give me a moment. As a ship would slowly rise from the ocean, as well it would fully rise, as Davy Jones is on the poop deck. It isn't an actual poop deck. Like, he's on the front of the ship, holding a spyglass, you know those? He's holding one, looking at Gang Orca, as the compass is pointing right at him. Davy Jones would, put down the spyglass, as he would go, "Alright, boys, we're eating good tonight. It appears like that undersized brain.exe stopped. It seems like that undersized, blubbery mass right over there has 3 pieces of our good old master. So what do? Say it with me, boys! Pillage and plunder! I am having a lot of fun with this. I am a die-hard Pirates of the Caribbean fan, and I don't care how strange this may seem to my neighbors. I don't care. So with that little joke out of the way, Gang Orca would gesture for everyone to open fire. Bullets, blobs of water, rocks would be thrown at them, as, well, Davy Jones would tap, Izuku's hand strapped to his belt with, 2 fingers. He would tap it, as a blue light would emit from it, and run along him. The ship would run along from him, from the hand, to him, to the ship, to his crew, to the ocean. As a wall of water would rise up from the ocean, blocking the bullets. Give me a moment. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, something came up and I had to stop recording for a few hours, but I am back. So let's continue. So, the bullets and the water and the cannonballs would all be stopped by the wall of water Davy Jones had made with Izuku's hand. As, he would smile as he would reminisce about, not reminisce, but kind of daydream a little bit of what, could possibly happen when Izuku is, fully put together, and what he could possibly do to Davy Jones. The image of a Cthulhu-like creature ominously hovering above the ocean just plays in his mind, sends chills down his spine, as, Davy Jones would take out his gun and gesture for his crew to attack. The ship would quickly, do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll underwater, as Gang Orca his eyes would go wide as he would jump in the water. A bunch of fish-like men would zip past him, jumping up onto the ship, putting hooks on, hooking the ship to, Davy Jones' ship, as, Gang Orca's ship would begin being pulled underwater. Gang Orca would attempt to stop them, emphasis on attempt, but he would be grabbed by Davy Jones, as he would be pulled onto the poop deck of the ship, underwater. Yeah, I know. Weird, it's weird. Pirates of the Caribbean does not make sense, but it's fantastic. So, yeah. They're currently upside down. Give me a moment. He would quickly slash forwards at Gang Orca. Gang Orca would jump back, only being able to dodge, thanks to his 3 fingers of, Izuku. I don't know what to call them, treasures of the sea. Fingers of Izuku. Be a funny, like, retcon of Sukuna. But yeah, Davy Jones would chuckle and say, look, I thought those, fingers you got, and, well, your good old friends over there would be spared. Face it, I have a hand, whilst not I don't have all the fingers. You got them. All 3 of them. I definitely have the upper hand, as you could say. My stomach hurts. Yeah. So him and Gang Orca would just start fighting. Like Gang Orca would punch forward, Davy Jones would duck under. Give me a moment. Davy Jones would slash forward, cutting Gang Orca's leg, as he would grab him by the tail. Does Gang Orca have a tail? I think he has a tail. Would be weird if he didn't. I'm assuming he has a tail. He would grab the tail, pull Gang Orca by it, cut him off by the tail, or cut off his tail, as before Gang Orca can react. Davy Jones' blade would be slashed across his throat. As well, Davy would take off the fingers from Gang Orca's belt, put them on, the pieces, put them where they should be on Izuku's hand. They would slot in as he would chuckle and say, well, ain't I lucky? Seems like the fingers, they're the fingers of his left hand after all. And I was wondering where I was going to put him. Alright, I say that's enough, don't you agree? Fred, a fish who has like a decapitated head in his mouth would just swim by like, nope, it's like a piranha. As like Davy Jones would just sigh and say, of course you're not satisfied. Tony, like an eel person with a starfish like crawling along him, like this giant ass starfish crawling along him, would just say, yeah, I'm kind of satisfied with today's haul. Anyway, it's currently 1 in the morning right now, so sorry if this is not the best, ending. I could have done a better one if I wasn't interrupted, but yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!